Hello, welcome to Secret Zone. Subscribe and turn on notifications for stories you won't forget. I never imagined that a single smile could change everything I thought I knew about my marriage. For years I believed our love was unbreakable, built on countless small moments that felt ordinary but were extraordinary. Late night conversations that stretched into hours. Quiet mornings in the kitchen filled with laughter watching our favorite shows while sharing glances that said more than words ever could. We were inseparable, bound not by grand gestures, but by tiny, tender routines that reminded us every day that we were each other's world. I admired her openly, and she would blush, her eyes lighting up as if she couldn't believe I had chosen her. She admired me too, and in those moments, life felt perfect, almost too perfect. Bateau beurre. Time's subtle changes crept in, almost invisible at first. She became quieter, distant, her attention drawn more to her phone than to me. The warmth in her gaze seemed to drift away, replaced by something I couldn't name. I tried to ignore it, convincing myself that I was imagining things, that love could survive small silences and unexplained distance. But inside me a slow ache began, growing heavier with every passing day, as if something essential between us was quietly unraveling. And then, one ordinary afternoon, surrounded by the bustle of a crowded market, it happened. A single smile, shared not with me, but with someone else. In that fleeting moment, the world I had known collapsed around me. My heart sank, my mind rested, and everything I thought was secure in our marriage seemed to shatter. That one smile, so effortless, so natural, so completely unlike the one she saved for me, ignited a storm of fear, jealousy, and heartbreak that I could no longer ignore. We met a wild getaway, unsure of what to do, unsure if what I felt was real, but unable to stay, as if my very soul was being tested. And yet, even as I took those steps, leaving the life we had built together behind, I couldn't stop thinking about her, about us, and about whether a single misunderstanding could undo the love of a lifetime. What followed that day would change everything, revealing truths we had hidden, fears we had ignored, and the power of love to survive even the darkest, most fragile moments. From the moment we met, it felt like the universe had stitched our souls together. Every glance, every word, every laugh we shared became a thread, weaving a bond that seemed unshakable. Our early days were filled with stolen moments and whispered promises, and even before we were married, I knew I couldn't imagine life without her. Once we were married, those small moments multiplied. Late nights in the kitchen, watching TV in our cozy room, making each other laugh over the silliest things. I admired her openly, telling her how beautiful she looked, how lucky I was, and she would blush shyly, her eyes sparkling with joy. She complimented me too, and in those exchanges, our love seemed alive, growing stronger with every shared smile. We didn't need grand gestures. Our rituals, our small acts of love, were enough. I would bring her favorite fruit, make her coffee just the way she liked it, and she would watch me with that quiet warmth that made the world seem lighter. Life was perfect, or so I thought. The days rolled on, our laughter echoing in our little world. Each moment felt safe, sacred, but love is delicate, and even the strongest bonds can be shaken when cracks form quietly, unseen, beneath the surface. It began slowly, almost She became quieter, her attention drifting elsewhere, often absorbed in her phone. Conversations that once flowed easily turned into short, polite answers. I felt the warmth in her gaze fading, replaced by something distant I couldn't reach. At first, I convinced myself I was imagining things. Surely, 4 years of love couldn't just unravel without reason. But the more I tried to stay close, the more she seemed to drift away. It was like watching someone slowly vanish before your eyes. And no matter how hard I reached, I couldn't hold on. I worried myself awake at night, replaying moments, analyzing every glance, every silence. My mind raced with questions I couldn't ask. I tried to keep the routines alive, her favorite drinks, her shows, the little gestures that had always brought us joy, but she seemed distant, tired, unresponsive, and the more distant she became, the more my love grew. I longed for her, needed her, and yet she seemed to exist in a different world from me. There was a growing tension, a fragile line stretching between us, ready to snap at the slightest pressure. I felt helpless, lost in my own home, surrounded by love that was slipping away without a sound. Then came the market day. A sunny afternoon, the streets filled with chatter, colors, and warmth. She insisted we go, despite the invisible tension that had lived between us for months. We walked side by side, yet it felt like we were worlds apart. Her body was close, but her mind was elsewhere. Then I saw a man behind a fruit stand, someone I had never met, and the way she looked at him. She smiled, not the polite smile she reserved for strangers, not the tired, distant smile she often gave me lately. Dee's was soft, effortless, alive, the same smile she once saved for me. My chest tightened, my heart ached. The world seemed to tilt, and in that instant, I felt erased from her life. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. My mind screamed, and yet my legs carried me away. I left without confrontation, without a word. Every step felt like surrender, like admitting defeat in a war I didn't understand. And then I heard her voice, trembling, calling my name. Fear, desperation, love. All at once, I stopped, but didn't turn. I wasn't ready, but she came to me anyway. Her footsteps hurried, her eyes searching, and in that moment, the fragile threads of our love began to reconnect. She reached me, breathless, cheeks flushed, and finally, after months of silent distance, she truly looked at me, not past me, not around me, but at me. Her voice trembled as she asked why I had left. I spoke the truth before I could soften it. I saw her smile at another man, and I thought she had drifted away from me forever. She froze, then gently explained. It wasn't him, it wasn't anyone else. It was the pressure, the exhaustion, the fear of failing me, of showing her struggles. She had felt alone, drowning quietly, hiding every crack in her armor, and I realized then I had misunderstood her. The distance wasn't betrayal, it was survival. My heart shifted from pain to understanding. She reached for my hand, trembling, and I held it tightly. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't fixed. But it was real. Together, we walked back into the world, side by side, not out of habit, but by choice. She spoke honestly about her fears, her exhaustion, her loneliness, and I listened, truly listened. For the first time in months, we were not just living under the same roof, we were present, together, aware, and connected. Love survived, hope was alive, and in that one moment, I realized that even the most fragile threads can hold the strongest bonds if both hearts fight for them. One smile had almost ended my marriage, but it also reminded me why it was worth everything. In the end, I realized something important. Love isn't just about the perfect moments or the big declarations. It's in the small things, the quiet understanding, and the willingness to see the truth behind the misunderstandings. One smile almost broke us. One moment almost ended everything we had built. But it also reminded us of what really matters. We held on, we fought for each other, and we chose to reconnect. Because even in the darkest, most fragile moments, love can survive if hearts are willing to listen, to forgive, and to stay. That day, I understood that marriage isn't about never being hurted. It's about never giving up on the person you love, even when everything feels broken. And now, as we walk forward together, hand in hand, I know this. Some bonds are stronger than doubts, stronger than fear, and stronger than a single smile. Love, when it's real, is always worth fighting for. If you enjoy hidden truths, emotional stories, and secrets people never talk about, subscribe to Secret Zone. Every story here reveals something shocking. Thank you for watching Secret Zone.